right, here we go. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to give you a behind the scenes look as to the gear that I'm using to set up this YouTube shot, talking head shot, and what it is that I'm seeing, as well as where different items are placed, so that you can get a sense as to what my actual setup is and how it is that I shoot. And I'm going to make sure that I address something specific to noise and the OC monitor that I did a review on, not a review, I did a sponsored video on a while back. This is the one that has the HDR function that is daylight viewable without a hood outside, which I'm very impressed with. And I use it mainly in the studio unless I'm on location working with a client. So to make sure that we address the whole noise thing, because there was a comment that came in one of my videos yesterday where the individual said he couldn't use it in the studio, I figured this is a good time to show you a behind the scenes as well as how things are placed. And then let's take a look at what that noise actually is. So before we move on, let's see what the actual noise floor of my studio is. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do like 10 or 15 seconds of silence so you can get a sense as to what this space sounds like when I'm not talking, but everything else is up and running. Cool. So now that should give you sort of a gauge as to what's happening here, right? Where I sit, this is normally where I sit. And on this back camera, I know I'm blocking the monitor, but if I move, you can see the monitor is fairly close to me. So let's take a quick measurement as to how far the microphone is from my mouth. So it is 13 inches. And for all of you that use metrics or the metric system, run a quick conversion because I'm doing this in real time. And I don't know what that conversion is. So 13 inches, so 1.1 inches away the microphone from my mouth, the way that it's set up right now. Now, the microphone from the monitor, let's take a quick measurement. So at its closest point, is 32 inches. At its furthest point, it's 38 inches. So from here to this is the closest point, and then obviously the opposite corner, it's the furthest away point. Can you guys hear the monitor? On purpose, I'm using the Blackmagic Video Assist, the 7-inch version, on my Komodo, because that one has a fan, whereas the small HD ones that I normally use, they use passive cooling, so there is no fan. But I figured, since we're talking about noise and noise in the studio, let's make things as noisy as they can be with some of the gear that I have available to me right now. Can you guys hear the fan noise of the Blackmagic Video Assist? And let me just tell you how far away I am from the fan. So that's 70 inches, and if I measure from the fan, that's 58 inches away from the microphone capsule. So my lights are passively cooled, so those don't make any noise. I'm using a tablet and a smartphone to control each of the Komodos. So why don't we do this? Why don't I put on my headset? And bear with me, there may be some handling noise. I will, I guess, just be warned. There's going to be handling noise because this microphone is not set up to be a handheld microphone. But I'll do my best to minimize that to give you guys a sense as to what this whole thing sounds like. So, warning, I'm taking this microphone off the boom in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I plugged in my headphones so that I could actually hear also, and then have an understanding of what's sort of happening. So what I'll do now is I'm going to bring the microphone literally up to the monitor so you guys can see how loud the monitor is, and I'll shut up for 10 or 15 seconds. So let's see how loud the monitor is. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to purposely point this away from you because I need to say something really loud, because in the studio right next door, somebody is mixing a track and I need them to stop so that you all don't think that it's coming from this studio. So 1 second. Bert! Bert! I might have to edit this part out because I'm doing this live, so I don't want you guys to think I'm cheating in any way. Let's see if this works. I'm doing a microphone test and I need as quiet as possible for the next 15 minutes.
Okay, sweetheart.
Thank you. All right, so I won't edit this out, just so you guys know. But let's try this noise again on the OC monitor so we can see what that sounds like. So that is the sound of the OC monitor. Now I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show you guys from behind sort of what that sound is. And hopefully I can keep myself in focus using the app. So let's try this. All right. So now I'm behind the Komodo. And this is the Blackmagic. Well, first off, here is what the Komodo sounds like. I am approximately, the microphone from the fan on the Komodo was approximately 6 inches. Let me move it closer to like 4 inches so you guys can get a better sound. Okay, and now this is the Blackmagic Video Assist. And I mentioned it's got a fan, right? Let's try that. That's at like 2.5 inches away. I think I just did a plosive. Okay, so that was at about 2.5 inches away. Let's try that one more time. And now you guys have a sense as to how noisy this is. Now I'm moving over to the OC monitor, the one that the comment said cannot be used in a studio environment. So I don't have it set up for HDR mode. I never need to turn it up that high because in my studio, even with this light shining on it, the settings that I'm using is the way that I use this monitor 100% of the time, even when I'm on site with a client. Okay, So that's the experience that I have. Now let's see how loud this is, and I'm going to aim the microphone and keep it at about 2.5 inches away from where the fans are. Now I'm going to move on to the other fan. And now let's do a quick comparison of the OC monitor versus the Blackmagic Video Assist 7-inch. OC monitor versus Komodo. So there you go. This is what the studio looks like. These are the gear and the different things where they're set up, how they're working. I'll move out of the way here a little so that the second angle camera can, I think if I do that, I might screw up. There we go. Well, I hope that you guys found this a little bit useful. It is a behind the scenes, this is how it works, which by the way, since we're on this noise thing, I never knew that when using this unit, which is from Deity, the reason why I love it, it's the interview kit. The reason why I love it is because it provides phantom power and it doesn't break the bank. So I can use any microphone that I want, boom it without any wires. That is dope. But check out what happens when my cell phone gets near it. This time, nothing. That's funny. I wonder why it happened earlier. Maybe because it was broadcasting to Komodo? Let's see if that's true. Okay, maybe nothing happens. Earlier, I got a little bit of feedback and static. And since I'm doing this now, let me just get myself back in focus so that both cameras can actually get us in focus, the monitor as well as me. But this is what the studio is. And hopefully this gives you guys a sense as to the gear that I'm using, how it works, how loud things are, and whether I'm sharing information that is relevant to you and your setup. Okay, I will catch up with you guys on the next video. Until next time, I'm Carlos. Thank you for putting up with all of my videos and stuff. And thank you for the 26,000 subscribers that decided to follow my channel. I really appreciate you all. Take care.